Have you ever been stuck with a car repair bill? Tired of paying those rip-off mechanics thousands of dollars just to diagnose and properly fix your vehicle? Are you a professional auto mechanic sick of spending thousands of dollars on garbage tools to run tests that you don't really need to run? Well, today all of your problems are solved. From the makers of the Expert Technician Toolbox Organizer comes the Parts Cannon. And here to tell us more about that today is Charles, the HumbleMechanic.com.
What's up, everybody? It's Charles. Welcome to today's show. For those of you guys that don't know, I have been an automotive mechanic for about 185 years. And in that time, I've worked on everything from the biggest piles of junk you could imagine to literally the best vehicles on the planet. And over the course of that time, I have spent probably tens of dollars on tools to properly fix and diagnose problems with cars. Well, all that changes today because of something that I personally have developed sitting right here in front of you. That's right, I am excited to introduce to you guys today the Parts Cannon. Now you're probably wondering, Charles, what the heck is a Parts Cannon? Well, folks, I'm excited to show you exactly what this baby can do today. Now, this one is actually designed for European vehicles, but with a few minor tweaks, it'll actually work on any car, truck, van, go-kart, motorcycle, over-the-road hauling vehicle, even industrial equipment like forklifts. If you got an autonomous car, who cares? You can use the Parts Cannon on it, and it'll take care of whatever the issue is. Now, initially when I designed this and developed this to fix vehicles, I had the professional technician in mind. We spend so much money on good diagnostic equipment, high-quality tools to fix and maintain vehicles for customers. Well, some of that time I felt like was really wasted running tests and checking wiring. That's stupid. We don't have time for that. We got to get back to YouTube and watch our YouTube videos. So I designed the Parts Cannon specifically for automotive technicians to meet their needs. How it works is really simple. All we do is we take some parts, shove them in right down in here, shove them into our Parts Cannon, take our Parts Cannon. This one is the right-hand model. There is a left-hand model available. We turn it on with our switch. Then we have our activation button. So we set it on our shoulder, get nice and comfortable, use our sights to line it up straight to the vehicle. The closer you can get it to the system with the problem, the better it's gonna work. But even just pointing it at the car does just fine. We point it right at the vehicle, we hit our activation button, we wait for the kickback, and our car's fixed. No matter what the problem is, the Parts Cannon will definitely take care of it. Let's get a little bit up close and personal with the Parts Cannon. On the front, I have the optimized exit port for all of our parts to come out to make sure that we don't damage them when they're being fired at the vehicle. We have our cooling and ventilation system down on the bottom. We have it dressed in an all black finish to make sure that it doesn't stand out too much in your toolbox. But hey, when you get the Parts Cannon, you don't even need a toolbox. You can take that toolbox, roll it right to the street, and let the trash man pick it up because this baby is all you're ever really gonna need from now on. But I still wanted it to have that sleek and subtle look. So we also have our carry handle as well as our indoor and our outdoor sighting unit. Of course, the Cannon wouldn't be complete without the space-age polymer rear, and on this one, we again have it designed specifically for Volkswagen Auto Group vehicles. Moving on to the other side, we have our vehicle activation button right here, ergonomically designed to be exactly where your hand needs to go when holding it. Also, we have our switch, which is labeled auto. Now, that doesn't mean you can't use it on manual transmission vehicles too, but it works much better on cars that are automatic. This switch also functions as our on and off switch. When the switch is facing backwards, it's off, facing towards the front where the parts come out. That's going to be our on button, but it does so much more than that. What we can do with a series of on-off switch presses is we can change the dynamics of the Parts Cannon. Let's say you want to do maintenance on your car. Load up some engine oil, load up an oil filter, load up a crush washer, or don't, it doesn't really matter. Switch this on and off 16 times. Now you're in maintenance mode. We don't want to just willy-nilly throw parts at our car, right? We're gonna be using the Parts Cannon. So 16 on and offs, now we're in maintenance mode. Let's say your check engine light's on and you don't know why. 12 on and offs puts this baby in diagnostic mode. You don't even need to load any parts in just yet. Simply point it at the vehicle, hit the button. The harder you hit it, the better. and it will tell you exactly what's wrong with your car. So I mentioned that I had professional technicians in mind when I developed this, and this is really where the target market is. But let's say you're a DIYer and you're tired of paying that mechanic $100 just to plug in the little thing and tell you what's wrong with your car. You don't need that anymore. The parts cannon will do it all. It'll do maintenance, it'll do repairs, it'll do diagnosis. You can't lose, you can't do it wrong with the parts cannon when you're fixing or diagnosing your vehicle. But, you know, sometimes there are cars that are very problematic, or maybe it has more than one issue. So you might actually have to load up this bad boy 2, 3, 4, 17 times to make sure that you get your car fixed right the first time. So you're probably thinking, Charles, yeah, we know, it looks amazing. Of course it's gonna do everything you say it's gonna do because, well, why wouldn't it? But let's see it in action. I have here some wiper blades for my car. I ordered them online, more on the online ordering in just a second. All I need to do is simply take my parts cannon, shove the parts in, again, ram them down there real good. Now let's walk out to the car and show you what it looks like in action. How about that? Simply firing the parts cannon right at the vehicle, installed our new wipers automatically. It's just like magic. But it's not that fake TV magic. This is real life magic. I mentioned it could do diagnosis. Let's look at that a little bit. Let's say your vehicle is running rough. You're not sure why. You don't have a scan tool to check why it's actually running poorly. You're not experienced enough to know what tests to run. And let's face it, who has time for those stupid tests anyway? You don't want to spend all that time hooking up an oscilloscope or doing a compression test. That's ridiculous. Paying a mechanic $100 to tell you exactly what's wrong with your car, that's dumb. Nobody has time for that. All we have to do is go to the parts store, or I've got a special deal with a really great online parts store called Douchey Auto Parts. Simply click, buy it from them. It comes right to your door. We take our parts. It could be spark plugs. Grab a few spark plugs. Doesn't matter if you have the right number or the same kind. Shove them on in there. Maybe it's an ignition coil. Let's shove that in there too, just in case. We take our parts cannon, we shake them up, make sure it's well mixed. Now we can go out to our car, load it up, and fire our parts cannon, and all of our parts will get installed in our vehicle just like this. I mentioned maintenance. All you gotta do, get some oil. Doesn't even matter if it's engine oil. Take that, slide it on in the parts cannon, get your filter, slide that on in too. You can even put a new oil change sticker right in there. If your vehicle has a maintenance reminder, the parts cannon will reset it. Don't even need to worry about that. Take your parts cannon, put it in maintenance mode, 16 flips of the switch, and kaboom, our parts cannon will change our oil for us. So if you're like me and you're tired of spending tens of dollars at the local hardware store, buying tools and parts and nuts and bolts, that's all dumb. Scrap all that. Get yourself a parts cannon, order it today. There's links down below. You can even call the number listed right here. And if you act in the next 5 to 10 minutes, there'll be a special message, and I'll even include a second parts cannon for free. Just simply pay on the shipping. Now, the second parts cannon is really great because you can have one for maintenance and repair, and you can also have one for detailing. Guys, I spent thousands of years designing and developing the parts cannon for detailers. All you have to do, load up your chemicals, soap, leather treatment, clear coat, whatever it is, all that carbony stuff that people like to put on there, ceramic, who knows what it is, whatever that nonsense is, shove it on in your parts cannon, load it up, hit that button, fire away, and before you know it, your car is spotlessly clean, and it'll be that way forever. That's right, this is a permanent solution. Not the weekly car wash or monthly car wax. That's dumb. Nobody has time for that. The parts cannon will do it all one time permanently. You'll never have to worry about it ever again. Now, what if you have electrical problems with your vehicles and don't know where to start? Simply take your parts cannon, add some of your own electrons. I actually like to make my own, and of course mine are always high test. Being very careful to open that electron container. Take your parts cannon, slowly pour them in. Being very careful not to upset your electrons. Take it out to your vehicle and just blast it right on. We can just line it up and hit our button, all our electrical problems will be solved. If you have an especially volatile blend of electrons, you might actually want to leave them in the container, take the container, shove it on in, and then you can just blast them right out, right at your car. So if you're ready to take your car repairs to the next level, stop wasting your time and money on mechanics just trying to rip you off, tools that you may not need, education, diagnostic equipment, forget all that garbage. If you're ready to take it to the next level, become Beyond YouTube certified, it's time to get yourself a parts cannon. And for you professional technicians, don't worry, the parts cannon will do all of that for you. You can still charge your customers all that money. All you got to do, get your parts cannon loaded up, fire away, and you'll fix it right the first time, no matter how many times you have to load up your parts cannon. So guys, be sure, act now, click the link, call the number, whatever you got to do. The sooner you get your parts cannon, the sooner you can take your car for a rusty hunk of junk to something awesome that you're going to be proud to own. And you know what? Sometimes that car's just really beyond repair. And what are you going to do in that case? Simply load up your parts cannon, aim, fire at that old hunk of junk piece of crap car that you got, and it'll turn it into what has been proven to be the best vehicle on the planet and the best car ever made. So be sure and act right now. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you again next time.